Vandana, thank you for speaking to Republic. As much as you've put out a post on AR Rahman separating from his wife after 29 years, and you said that the emotional strain was on for a long time. There was an insurmountable gap that the two are not being able to bridge. We really want to know the inside story from you. What are the reasons that they decided to part ways after 29 years?
Well, thank you for having me here, although it is for discussing one of the most shocking divorces, I would say, and I think one of the biggest news of 2024. But, I think what we had to say, we put out in the post. And, long marriages go through their own strains. And like you said rightly, it is a 29-year marriage. It's gone through its own strain. Beyond that, I am not authorized to speak. So, I think we've taken the dignified route out, and we've put it out there, what both of them, Mr. Rahman and Saira, wanted to say. And they're both committed to their privacy, and they're both committed to, building better lives with or without each other.
Fair enough, but I've also been reading through a lot of interviews, and while Mr. Rahman had said in one of his interviews that the initial period was tough after she got married because it was also a joint family, but after they had their first child, things were smooth from there on. To really look into the exact lines that you have mentioned through this post, where you've said that there is a lot of pain and agony, what was your client undergoing?
You will agree with me when it is that a marriage ends, it is a painful decision. No one is happy when a marriage ends. Divorce is not an occasion to be celebrated. And of course, Saira has been through her ups and downs in this marriage. And, so she has undergone whatever pain she has. And that's why we put it out there in our press release.
All right, so news that is also doing the rounds of one of Mr. Rahman's colleagues who also announced her separation within hours of when Mr. Rahman and his wife announced their separation, and internet also going on to draw a link between the two. Your comment on that?
Not at all. Not at all. There is no link between the two. Saira and Mr. Rahman have taken this decision on their own. There is no link between the two news at all.
Would you say that there are any particular terms that you have stated with regards to the final settlement and what your client is demanding?
Not as yet. Not as yet. We've not come to that stage as yet.
All right. So the very fact that they've decided to end this marriage...
it would be an amicable divorce.
All right. But the very fact that they've decided to end this after 29 long years, they had been seen on several public occasions, gatherings, the last as we saw them at the Radhika Anant wedding. Were they also continuing in this marriage because of being in public domain, living the public life, and despite that they may have wanted to call it quits earlier, they did not?
I don't think both of them are people like that. In fact, I think both of them are extremely genuine, and it was not what you call a marriage sham.
In fact, a lot of reports also doing the rounds and fans stating how he had come to her defense a year ago, and all looked really fine on the face of it. But what is it that you sense on the inside as far as their relationship is concerned? He's protective, but there were differences. How would you define it?
I think he's been a protective husband. I think she's been a good wife. And I don't have to speculate because I know the real reason, but I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
I understand, Ms. Vandana, but the very fact that we are talking to you...
Both my clients have asked.
Fair enough, but the very fact that we are talking to you, people also want to know what really happened, because it came as a shock, like you also mentioned, to all their fans to know
Absolutely.
that they've decided to part ways. What had happened? Please do tell us a little more.
You know, I'm really not at liberty to discuss that, but I can just say that it's been a long marriage. Every long marriage goes through its ups and downs, and I am extremely happy that if it has come to an end, it has come to an end in such a dignified manner, and we've put out a joint press release, and I think it speaks volumes for both of them, that they both are extremely dignified people, and as everyone knows, both of them have been very, very private and personal about their personal lives. But I can just say that both of them wish well for each other, and they both will continue to support each other.
You know, I'd like to take you through one of your interviews that is in public domain, where you've cited boredom. That is very common in Bollywood marriages, and
Yes.
infidelity also is a very common factor. How much of it was a part in this marriage?
None.
All right. But why do you generalize Bollywood then in that category?
Because of the cases that come to me, it is not just, as we say in court language, it is not just hearsay. It is what I see. So I speak only about that. And as you're aware, I never take names. This is the first time I've actually come on camera to give an interview about a divorce, because up until now I've been extremely confidential about my clients' identities. But we decided to go with the press release route. But coming back to your primary question, you know, what I see is what I discuss out there. And I do agree that, you know, celebrity marriages are always under more pressure than what a normal person's marriage would be. You know, there are images to be lived up to, you know, both good and bad. You know, there are certain stereotypes that society categorizes them into. So there are a lot of pressures which come into celebrity marriages. And I do advise them, a lot of them, when they come to me, I've saved also quite a few marriages. Ironic for a divorce lawyer, but I've done that. And, you know, I do tell them to go to marriage counselors, because I think a communication breakdown in marriages is also a very, very key factor in celebrity marriages. You know, so that's why I speak about that even in various other podcasts and interviews that I've done.
All right, so I want to come to you with my next point. Mr. Rahman is being massively trolled over using the divorce hashtag. Has your client also taken offense to it? What is the internal sentiment?
No comments.
All right, you're staying very, very tight-lipped. But I'd lastly like to ask you what you want to say on behalf of the couple and of the family. And a message to all the fans.
I would say that they are a beautiful family,
yeah.
and may God bless them. And a message to the fans that keep praying that they find better lives with or without each other, and keep praying for their success, whether individual or joint, and shower your blessings on the family.
All right. Thank you for talking to Republic.